As a sales rock star, it comes down to this: developing the right sales skills. See, to stay at the top, you must be, first of all, highly motivated to develop the right sales skills. See, sales skills can be taught, but desire actually has to come from within. If you do not have that internal desire to change and get better, you'll never take those critical steps needed to be a sales rock star. An example is this: no one is going to wake you up every morning and get your mindset right for the day. You must be the one to do that. Let's discuss right now 3 necessary skills that you must develop in order to be a sales rock star. The first skill that you must develop is to stop thinking that you must close that prospect when you get on the phone with them. See, that psychologically will put you in the mindset of an adversarial approach. Approach the conversation with the mindset that you're looking for a relationship and not for the sale. This skill is something that few are taught in sales and what holds many salespeople back from absolute sales stardom. What you must do is this: push that sale to the back of your brain. You must push that sale to the back of your brain, start to connect with that other person immediately and start to try to find some of that common ground. We've talked about how critical it is to get on a first name basis with a prospect as soon as possible. It's important that you work with that prospect and not against them. You must be the one to remove that sales pressure so that it makes the prospect actually want to engage with you a little bit more. You must be different. The second skill that you must develop to be a sales rock star is to stop prejudging what the prospect should do when you get on the phone with them. See, in Medicare sales, you do not know what that prospect needs yet. Let the conversation tell you what's best for that prospect. If you approach thinking that you must sell them a Medigap supplement or that you must sell them a Medicare Advantage plan, then you're not being biased, you're being unbiased. You're prejudging that individual. Let the evidence dictate the verdict. See, you must let the evidence actually dictate the verdict if you hope to be an impartial jury in your Medicare sales. The moment that that prospect feels that you're being biased in your sales approach is when they're going to actually shut you down and tune you out. If you want that prospect to trust you, then you must earn that trust and come into that conversation with an open mind. This is going to allow you to focus on their current situation and to be objective and impartial in where you're going. You must ask questions that don't prejudge. See, ask questions that actually trigger the prospect's brain to be curious and want to take part in that conversation with you. You want that prospect to feel that if they do not continue talking to you, they're going to miss out on something that could be very important for them. That is the power that you have as a sales rock star, is to be able to approach the conversation by not prejudging the outcome. The final skill that you must develop, which is so critical to your sales success, is the ability to overcome any resistance. This skill actually becomes very easy to develop if you've mastered those first 2 sales skills. If you can approach every conversation not thinking that you must close that prospect, and you have that mindset that you're not going to prejudge the outcome, you're going to let the evidence dictate the verdict, it becomes much easier to overcome any resistance from that prospect. As a sales rock star, you must be able to take away the pressure, which will help take away the resistance. See, when you've mastered the first 2 sales skills, it takes that sales pressure away from the conversation. You can now instead focus on getting to know the individual and their current situation. Now you can take them where they need to go and let them actually feel in control. This will allow you to develop that final sales skill that is necessary, which is going to be to overcome any type of resistance. Mastering those first 2 sales skills makes responding to any resistance very, very easy. Let's look at the following example of a resistance that you could experience on a phone call. What if the prospect says to you, "I do not do business over the phone"? See, now if you're worried that you must sell this prospect something and you approach the phone call with the mindset that they're going to need a Medigap supplement plan or a Medicare Advantage plan, what's going to end up happening is you're going to become defensive. You're going to become adversarial. Your mind will tell you that the prospect would not have answered the phone if they don't do business over the phone. It's the first step of being adversarial. As a sales rock star, always have that mindset that maybe they shouldn't go with you. Always have your mind actually default to thinking that you need more information to be able to even help that prospect. See, what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to take that pressure off of yourself and the sales call. It's going to allow you the ability to actually develop responses that make that prospect think. So let's say that the prospect just said to the sales rock star, "I don't do business over the phone." How do you respond to that? Here's the response. "Jim, I hear you. Many people actually don't realize that the Cuban Missile Crisis was resolved with actually just one phone call. I'm not quite sure if you should even do business with me over the phone yet. Jim, I'm here to work with you, not against you. Let me just ask you a couple of questions." See, what just happened right now is this. Most prospects, when you do this, will not know how to respond. Most prospects have not been approached by a sales rock star with a response that actually diffuses the resistance. They will not know how to respond other than to usually be curious about what this person is going to say next. They're expecting that salesperson to get defensive or stumble with some type of 𝘄𝗶𝗹𝗶𝗋 response. See, most salespeople have not developed that skill needed to overcome any resistance by actually agreeing with the prospect. If the prospect tells you at the beginning that they don't do business over the phone, then start thinking to yourself, maybe they shouldn't do business over the phone. The key is this: do not make the prospect right. How the salesperson responds to the prospect's resistance determines if that prospect made the right decision by not continuing that conversation with that salesperson. If you want to be a sales rock star, you must begin to develop and hone your skills like an artist and be able to overcome any type of resistance. See, what makes a sales rock star unique is that they love what they do and they honor their profession. Once you can overcome any type of resistance, you will now achieve sales rock star status. In sales, you have to become a student of human behavior. See, you are in the people business, so you must take time to understand human behavior. You must learn to be able to read the prospect and actually relate to them. You must take the time to be a student of sales. See, the world actually becomes your library to become better at your sales craft. Never take for granted the information that you now have available to you like at no other time in history. You must practice if you want to be a sales rock star. Practice is actually controlled failure. See, if a call does not go your way, then what you need to do is sit down and develop a better way to get around that resistance that you just encountered. Then what you need to do is practice your response repeatedly until you actually memorize it. See, when it comes back up again, it's going to become second nature to you on actually how to respond to it. A great line is this that I heard: "Prepare more in practice and you will bleed less in war." It is so important in sales that you take the time to develop the skills to overcome any type of resistance. See, a sales rock star is just a lounge act that got sick and tired of hearing, "I want to think about it," "mail me something," or "I don't do business over the phone." What they did is they then developed the skills to overcome any type of resistance. Michael Caine, the actor, once said, "Rehearsal is the work and the performance is the relaxation." Practice so much that it actually becomes second nature to you.